So it's a cold day in Zagreb, and you're here to watch Iceland play Croatia. How do you rate the Icelandic team's chances?
It's freezing cold. Luckily, I guess they're going to be used to these kind of temperatures, so I think they've got a fantastic chance. If you look at what happened in the first leg in Reykjavik, losing their star striker before the end of the first half, Sigþórsson, and then having second half with 10 men and playing against a team as good as Croatia with that amount of attacking talent, and to not really give them any chances whatsoever, I think that must give them incredible confidence going into this game. And because it's 0-0, away goals count. So if Iceland score early, Croatia have to force to score twice, and I think it'll be whoever scores first in this game. But even if Croatia score first, it also means that Iceland, if they equalise, then they go through an away goal. So I think it's really finely poised, and I think it's going to be a lot closer than many people might think it would be.
You're obviously in Norway, witnessing a big moment in Iceland's football history there, and there might be another one now, so it would be good for your book, definitely.
Oh yeah, so I'm writing this book 31-0 about underdogs trying to qualify for the World Cup, and obviously this would be the biggest underdog of all time, the smallest nation to ever qualify. I mean, I was in Norway, and it was incredible, the emotion afterwards, and you could see when the players are running towards the fans. And I met this guy outside he was bigger than me. He had a big beard on, and he had a big helmet with horns on, and he was wearing a Superman onesie, and he was just this big beard, and he could have snapped me in half if he decided to. And he was just like crying. I had to like look after him, and I was like holding him. He was like sobbing into my arms. It's like spitting tears into my face, and you can tell it means that much to people. And when I was speaking to the people, the fishermen there, and they're taking the days off to be there, and there's going to be maybe 1,200 Iceland fans here, which is something like 0.3% of the population. So it's obviously very important for Iceland, and I think it sends out a message to the rest of the world that if you do things right, and you put money in the right place, and you develop talent in the right way, it doesn't matter how big you are. It doesn't matter, if the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, as they say. So I think it's great, not just for Iceland, but I think for every nation. Smaller nation and smaller club in the world, that they can learn from Iceland and learn what they've done.
And you're writing a book about underdogs, isn't it a bit correct that everybody loves the underdog?
Everybody loves the underdog. I mean, I grew up in England with the FA Cup, and the FA Cup for me is the where you kind of cut your teeth on the underdog. Every year there's a story of a team coming from the non-league beating like one of the teams in the Premier League, and it kind of happens less and less these days. But that's what people love about sport, and especially about football. I mean, when you look at, I always remember the Olympics in 2000, where you had Eric the Eel, the swimmer from Equatorial Guinea, who basically had never swum in a pool before, and I think it was 200 meters breaststroke, and it was brilliant. He could barely finish his, and everybody remembers Eric the Eel. Nobody remembers who won gold in that 200 meters in the 2000 Olympics. So everybody loves the underdog. I think it says something about us as well, because the underdog is recognisably us. When you see elite, everyone loves seeing the best players, but they have something that you can never have. The underdog is something closer to you that has exceeded expectations, and I think it taps into fans' kind of deep resentment that they can never be good enough to play football, and that maybe one day they'll have their chance. And I think people recognise and will want Iceland to win because they'll recognise themselves in it, I think.
Thank you very much.
No worries, man. Right.